In today's video, we're going to have a deep discussion, and we've been needing to have this discussion for a while. We're going to be taking a look at why so many men think women just want their money. You see, there's several videos that we've done that are listed below, where if you look at the comments, you'll see that a lot of men are just calling women whores and they just want their money and they're gold diggers. And what I want to do today is talk about that specifically and show you exactly why that's not true. So let's get started. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the response we've been getting to two other videos that you might want to check out if you haven't seen them already. They'll be linked in this video if you want to see them. One of them is women are constantly sending you subtle signals. And the other one is, are you rejecting women? I can't remember the exact title, unconsciously, I think is what it is. Are you rejecting women subconsciously or unconsciously? The links are in the video so you can check them out. Now, what we're getting with those is a lot of comments from men that they keep saying that women only want you for your money, or women are all whores. They just want your money. They will basically want a guy who has a lot of money who can take care of them. That's all that matters. And we see a lot of comments like this in these videos. And I'm not going to disagree with you on one level. There are women out there that are looking for money. Yes. And there are women out there that want so much more than that and aren't that type at all. If you really believe that women are only looking for money, those are the type of women that are going to show up in your life. They're going to show up like crazy. You're going to see them everywhere. You see, the brain is a supercomputer, and it can process and show you anything you want. It processes, at the last number I heard was somewhere between 4 and 10 million bits of data per second. That's the subconscious mind. So it's seeing and picking up everything, but you only consciously see about 7 bits of information. So if you really believe women are gold diggers, you really believe women are after your money, what type of women do you think your subconscious mind is going to find for you? What type of women is it going to pull into your life? What type of women is it going to make you attracted to? The very women that you keep swearing are everywhere out there, because what you focus on expands. You see, I grew up in a household with a bipolar mother. I love my mom, but she was bipolar. And what I noticed was when I first became old enough to start dating and I went out and started meeting women, I could find a bipolar woman in the crowded room. I dated 2 or 3 of them actually, back to back pretty much. It was amazing to me how I could walk into a room and I could be, oh, she's cute, and then be obsessively overdrawn to one woman and realize that she was bipolar. Pretty soon I started to be able to identify that feeling. I started to be able to see that if I am insanely attracted with this feeling, that woman is mostly likely bipolar. And I would check on it, and it was pretty much accurate. Our system, our nervous system, knows how to find the type of person that we're thinking about in our subconscious mind, whether we like it or not, and it will find them. It's the same as a woman who finds a man that's abusive, that beats her, and she breaks up with him, finally gets away from him, only to find another one. She can find him in a crowded room also. So this is really powerful when you think about it. Your mind is creating your reality all the time. And now to prove to you, at least if you believe what I'm saying here on this channel, to prove to you that this is not true, I have 3 examples of people I've known in my life, men that I've known in my life, that got plenty of women and they had no money. The first one was my friend Daniel. When I was first learning this stuff, it was a struggle for me. It was a lot of hard work. And I couldn't understand why Daniel could get all these women and I couldn't. Now, the interesting part was that I was living in this community where I didn't have much money either. It was a yoga community back in my hippie days. And Daniel was fresh out of prison. He came into the community because he just got out of prison. He didn't have any job. He was on parole and he needed a place to stay. So we took him in and gave him a bunk bed in the community and a place to stay. The interesting part was that the moment he arrived, every girl in the community was attracted to him. And it was driving me nuts. Even my ex-girlfriend, who was not part of the community, was attracted to him. And I could hardly get a girl to save my life. I was lucky I had the ex-girlfriend, because in truth, it was really hard for me to find another girl. Now, there was one girl in the community I was super attracted to. I thought she was beautiful, but I just didn't have the skill or the understanding or the knowledge, but really the ability inside my body to get her. And I kept trying, but I noticed she saw me more as a friend and a project to be worked on, which really hurt, than somebody she'd be attracted to. The moment Daniel arrived, she was attracted to him instantly. Matter of fact, she and all the other women could not stop talking about him. Again, he had no money. He's on parole. He has no job, and he's working on all this to get it together, but he doesn't quite have it together yet. Now, I ended up knowing Daniel for a long time. If you know some of the early stories, I actually moved in with him for a while. Again, he didn't have a job. He was trying to start a business when I moved in with him, but I saw how good he was with women, and I wanted to understand it. I wanted to watch it firsthand. So I moved in with him and a woman, and we had a 3-bedroom apartment. We all had separate bedrooms, and I watched her and all these other women start showing up in his life. I watched Daniel borrow the money to pay for an account on Match.com, and he had girl after girl over every week, and it was amazing. They could not get enough of him. They would pick him up in their car. They'd take him out to dinner. And it was like they had an addiction to him. And this is really powerful when you think about it, because he had no money and he didn't have a future at that time. Now he's grown a lot and done a lot since then, but at that time he was going through a lot. And the one thing Daniel said that stuck with me is, even though I don't have money, I can always have women, and that makes me feel better. And that was an interesting comment, because in my mind, and in a lot of men's mind at that time, women and money go together. If you don't have one, you don't have the other. But that just wasn't even a reality in his subconscious mind. So his subconscious mind sorted for available women that really liked him, because he saw the world in a different way. His supercomputer knew how to find those women. Now, let's go to example number 2. I think this is best. So in example number 2, I had another friend, Jason, and he was the next person I met along the way. And Jason wanted to really get good with women. So he quit his job, moved into his van, and started traveling across the United States, living off his savings, which he didn't have a lot, but he had enough where he could survive. And then he would take odd jobs here and there to make extra money. But he was basically broke living in a van. And the longer he went, the more broke he was. But he went from state to state, practicing meeting girls, talking to girls. This guy had more women. He was one of the best I'd ever seen with women than anybody I'd ever seen. We'd go to a bar and I remember one bar we went to, he had 3 girls under each arm flirting with him. None of them really knew each other when he got there. He had the DJ's girl kind of hanging out with him. He had this other girl that he grabbed and pulled off the dance floor, and he had them all laughing and giggling and fighting for his attention. He was taking pictures with all of them. This guy had more women on a regular basis than anybody should have, and it was kind of amazing to watch. Well, we were sitting outside. I remember one time we're sitting outside in front of the bar. I believe it was called Dragonfly or Firefly in Hollywood. And he had 3 girls under each arm flirting, taking pictures out in front of the bar. And this really beautiful girl starts to walk by. And she's got this guy, this really masculine looking guy under her arm. And he hides his camera really quick and then says to her, "Hey, do you have a camera?" And she says, "Well, yeah." And he says, "Well, can you take our picture really quick?" She had her camera phone. She took his picture, and he goes, "I just don't have mine on me." He said that to her. And then she took the picture really quick, and she said, "Okay." And she goes, "But how am I going to get it to you?" And he goes, "Here, just take my email and email it to me." And then after she walked away with her boyfriend in tow, I looked at him and I said, "You did that so you could start communicating with her later, didn't you?" And he said, "Yeah." And then he went right back to the other 6 girls and started flirting again. He was like a machine with this stuff. Now, it's powerful when you think about it. He did not buy into the reality that he needed money. I can't tell you how many girls would go back to his van and sleep with him. It was a common occurrence. It was fun for them. It was an adventure. It was excitement. And I can't tell you how many girls asked him to move in with them and offered to take care of them and all kinds of stuff. And he didn't want that. He was on an adventure. Now, the third one is my current business partner, Dave, who you've probably seen in many pictures, Dave Stoltz. You can go to his Instagram at Dave_Stoltz and check out his life now. But back then, this was many years ago, he also lived in a van by choice. And again, he had the same experience. He had girl after girl coming to him. At that time, he had no money. It's the same reality. Women just showed up in his life. And it's powerful when you think about it. Now, are there women out there that are gold diggers? Yes, there are. There's women out there that are trying to work men for money. But I want you to think about something for a minute. Every one of these women that's working men for money, that's being a gold digger, looking for a guy that just has money, if that man isn't also solid and grounded and has his shit together too, man, first off, she might just be with him because he's a solid guy, not because of the money. The money might just be awesome that he has money and he's a generous guy, so they have fun together. It also might be that if he had money or didn't have money because he's a solid guy, that she'd be with him anyways. But yes, there are plenty of guys out there that are not solid guys with money, with beautiful women. The women are just there because they have the money. But I want you to think about this for a minute. Every one of those women most likely probably has a guy on the side that's solid, that maybe doesn't have any money, that maybe she spends money on because, you know what? He's grounded, he's solid, he's contained. And in the bedroom, he fucking kills it. He's a masculine man and he's a man's man. And she might even be paying for that with the rich guy's money. And that sounds horrible, but that does exist. An example of this is the Guns N' Roses, the band. Guns N' Roses, way back when they were an up-and-coming band and they were struggling and they had no money and they were playing on the bar scene, they lived with a bunch of strippers. And the strippers paid for them because they believed in them. They helped pay their rent, they helped feed them, they helped take care of them, they had sex with them. And this is powerful when you think about it, because these women were going to work to make money to give it to these guys that gave them an exciting life, whether the guys had money or not. So who you're being is what it's really about. That's what really counts. A fireman, why do you think women get attracted to firemen? They're not rich. Yeah, they make a good living, but they're not rich. Why do women get attracted to policemen? Why do women get attracted to men in the military? That's not even a strong financial option. It can be a bad option. When you look at Conor McGregor, look at his wife. She stood by his side through thick and thin while he was dirt poor, all the way up to where he's at now. She wasn't there just for the money. I have a friend who has a company that takes men on tours of foreign countries to meet women that are looking to get married. And we did an interview with him. We can also post that in here too. And the interesting thing about him is he had the same experience. When he met his wife, he married her, he did have some money, he was doing okay. He lost it all when the economy turned. She didn't leave him. She went to work and told him to start another business, that she would support him while he started another business. So if you really believe that women only want money, how do all these examples exist? Okay? So I really want to hear your comments on this. Make sure you watch those other videos and give us a real honest feedback. Don't just get angry. Don't just spout off a bunch of obscenities. Actually give us your reasons. I'd love to hear them. I'd love to see what's going on out there, and I could take a deeper look at real reasons. But if you just call women whores or you just attack women, there's not much I can do with that. You can do that all day. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to respond to that. But if you have some real reasons, I'll be glad to do a video on it, respond to it, and talk about it. So let's get a conversation started, okay? So with that said, remember to like, remember to subscribe, and again, remember to comment. Remember, only the confident really live. I'll see you in the next video.